And welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to another week, another edition of the Code for Giants Cup number 19, your bi-weekly dose of Brazilian StarCraft. Whew, here we go. Oh, no, never mind. As it looks like. Never mind. Regardless, it's great to be back once again. Of course, your host VIP. With me, I'm joined by these amazing players, by the people in chat, by my plushies as well. Welcome one and all, to Code for Giants Cup. Again, we're here. We are live, of course. Last week, we were unable to cover this. Sorry, I should say 2 weeks ago, we were unable to cast this live, but now we are here. We are ready to go. Exclamation mark. Be in the chat if you guys want to have a look at the back yourselves. The bracket is live, the bracket is stacked, the bracket is, again, full of the best in Brazil, and we'll be getting into the brackets soon after we jump and finish and conclude this series. First things first, it's going to be a bit of a smaller bracket, is what I will say. It's a bit of a smaller bracket, but a solid bracket nonetheless, and we are here in the quarterfinals of the event. We have our Terran, we have our Zerg, we have our TvZ between Dorminhoco and Kamikaze. Let's go. Let us go. If you're in the chat, predictions will soon be open. Well, we'll get there. Don't you worry. We'll soon embrace those predictions as we are jumping into game one. Let's go. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of ley lines, we have the red Terran player from Brazil representing his new clan, NWCE. It is Kamikaze. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have his opponent. I should probably fix up his name. Hold on. There we go. We have his opponent. We have the Brazilian Zerg player, the Blue Zerg. It is for Eximius Gaming. It is Dorminhoco, aka Sleepy Pappy Sleepy. Here we go. And if you're in the chat, you know what time it is. It is Gamba time. Predictions are open. Play show bets on who you think will claim the series. Best of luck in the chat as we are opening up with a gas pool. Jesus, oh my god, hyper aggression here out of Dorminhoco. Now Dorminhoco, he is known for being aggressive. He's not the most cheesiest of players out there in Brazil. I would say Tata Giba is the cheesiest player, but Dorminhoco, you know, he's not too far behind him when it comes to his aggressive nature here, and I don't blame him for opening up with an aggressive style, considering that Kamikaze is known for playing mech. He's known for making it up. Before we can make it up, though, it's going to be 2x Reaper. Okay, let's go. 2x Reaper here out of Kamikaze. Gas first means faster link speed. It means we could try to shut this down and even Bane Bust as a response. Let's go. Let us go. As our players are going to be facing off. I think I do favor Dorminhoco in this kind of position here, just considering that you can try to punish and you can try to bust. Assuming he does go for the Bane Nest thereafter, he's leaving one worker in gas. Bear that in mind, so he will soon accumulate enough for a Bane Nest. We'll see if he commits. Just now going for the expansion. Meanwhile, the Reapers are on the way, and it's going to be on Dorminhoco to confirm what's going on, as the Overlord will get eyes on the wall at the natural. Here we go. We'll get eyes, we'll confirm. Likewise, interesting wall off here as we have a second depot as well, just to kind of fortify this location. Reapers are on the way. Remember, there's no lane. This is designed to get some damage done. This is designed to wreak havoc, designed to delay the third base. No SCV scout. Ooh, no SCV scout here from a Kamikaze, so doesn't know what he's going into. He doesn't know what he's about to stumble upon. So, lack of scouting here initially. The Reaper will make up for that, of course. We'll try to. Lings are in position. Reaper dips in. Up. And it's going to be forced out. Yeah, the scout is denied. Link speed almost done. Oh, he hasn't checked the timing of the expansion. He's checking for the third base. Again, Kamikaze lacking a lot of information right now. And he should soon confirm once he dips in. And now he knows. Now he sees late expansion, late hatchery, early spawning pool. And here come the Lings. Speed is done. Ooh, but the Reapers, they will get away. Yeah, they do get away in the end. Not many Lings here to help deal with this. One Reaper will fall. The other two, one gets surrounded. One does get surrounded, so will the other. From here, it's time to break through. And again, I would have loved to have seen it, but we have the gas. We have one in gas. We have 100 gas. We could have thrown down a Bane Nest to flood, to Bane Bust, but alas, it looks like Dorminhoco is droning, getting a base, droning up. He's moving out across the map, forcing a big reaction so far. But alas, looks like Kamikaze should be fine. He should be okay. The reactor is somewhat exposed, but alas, doesn't quite commit. Not here, not this time. So now Lings, they do back up. Do back up for the time being. Third base on the way. Settling in. That's why you said Shema, papi, Shema. What do you mean? Because we have Polish viewers. I don't know if you noticed, but we have a handful of regulars that are from land of Polonia. They're from Poland. So yeah, we always like to say hello. Always. Similarly, whenever we get like a Brazilian viewer working up in the chat, what do we say? We say "Fala galera." We say "Fala galera, papi, fala galera." Let's go. As now we do see that a reaction. We have the bunker on the way. Factory is done. Tank production has begun as well. Third CC in the main base, and Dorminhoco will confirm. He will confirm the CC. Meanwhile, we're going lair into Bailey Nest. Quite some fast tech here is what I will say from our Zerg player, especially when it comes to the Bailey Nest timing. From here, just going to be droning up, settling in. I do think there's potential for some more aggression here outside of just shutting down the Reapers, but regardless, Dorminhoco is at least safe and sound. He's safe to drone up, and we're settling into a longer game state, at least for now. At least for the time being. Welcome to all those in chat. I see BBQ, Blakerus, Psycons. ¿Qué tal? Desiree, Senjo, Chacal. Bienvenidos. As this is what I assumed. So remember, really fast layer into really fast bailiness into what? Into insanely fast bailing speed. Bailing speed already being researched. Now to afford all of this, because of all this tech, no Eva Chambers. Eva Chambers are delayed. 1-1 upgrade is going to be later here for the Zerg player as opposed to the upgrades of Kamikaze. Bailing's already morphing in as well. This is just really, I would say inefficient. This is an inefficient style here from Dorminhoco. It does keep him safe, that is true, but he's investing so much gas right now, so many resources, whereas he could have otherwise gone into upgrades, gone for a later bailing speed, and been in a better position. Here, just because, as you can imagine, all these resources that we're investing here into Ling Bane isn't really being made use of. It's stuck here at home. It's not really adding any value here. As Dorminhoco is droning, saturating his third, now soon to be droning his fourth base as well. Really, this is hurting Dorminhoco because it's delaying his upgrades. It's delaying 1-1. And I think what surprised me is because, again, he scouted, he saw the third CC, so he knows it's a macro build. He knows that there's no all-in coming. The setup that we see here would make sense if he believed that an all-in was coming his way, that it was going to be hyper-aggressive. But remember, he saw the base, he saw the third command center, so alas, everything telling him here should have been to be a little bit greedier, to drone, and to focus on a later game state. Speaking of all-ins, we have a 6-rack setup. We're getting up to 8 racks. Now, this is turning into a 3-base all-in. And again, this is where, by the time this army hits, that's where bailing speed would be required. Alas, the upgrade advantage is going to be in favor of Kamikaze. This is going to hit like a truck. And Dorminhoco, he has to be very wary here as he does. He has to tread lightly moving into this. So far, I should be able to keep up with the double drop. But more than anything, we need a scout. We need a scout into the main base to get eyes on everything that's going on, because this is insanely aggressive. Up. So far, Dorminhoco is keeping up. And again, there's no add-ons here on most of these racks even, but we're building up towards that 8 racks. Essentially, what we should be seeing from our Terran player here is no gases at the third base, which is, I mean, tick that box. No gases here, likewise, no forced CC, no second factory. Just a 3-base all-in. This armory is delayed, so this is working in Dorminhoco's favor. Thankfully, late armory means even though 1-1 is done for the Terran, he cannot begin 2-2. Target firing. And again, this is allowing Dorminhoco to finish up his upgrades, to catch up in 1-1. So he is catching up. He's keeping up with the drop play as well. Up! Not quite connecting. Almost. Likewise, Hydras are amassing as well here for Dorminhoco. This time does connect. Kamikaze late to respond. Late to react. Ooh, okay, he's taking his gases. Now he's taking his gases. Now he's throwing down a 4CC. Now, I would be critical here of the Terran player, where their production setup here is likewise inefficient. Getting to all these racks, no add-ons either. This screams all in, but he expands, so we're kind of stumbling our way into a longer game state here. because Kamikaze isn't going for an all-in with this, I would favor Dorminhoco, as there's going to be that much less here to move out across the map. There's still 3 tanks. The army gets spotted. Dorminhoco, he will respond, and can he survive? Can he keep up? Can he shut this down? Not going to be easy. It's not going to be easy here. Massing up Morling Bane. He's massing up, getting ready for the push. Kamikaze still isn't really threatening anything. He's threatening the edge of the creep, going for a double drop at the same time. We'll see if Dorminhoco can keep up. Oh! As I think there's potential with diving on this army, but regardless, Dorminhoco, he will retreat. Likewise gets highs on the double drop. Oh, where are the Banelings? Trying to lure the army in. Diving the army, target firing. Ooh, good target firing here. And Kamikaze, he will clean up the Ling Bane, diving on the base. Trying to force a cancel. The hatchery will complete. Reinforcements will deal with this. Dorminhoco does hold, but this is a much more efficient trade here by Kamikaze. Behind this 4CC getting up and running. Dropping into the main base. Spores are in position. But where's the Ling Bane? Takes down a full medevac though. Not bad. Full medevac goes down. Dropping once again here towards the 4th. Does drop. Kamikaze rotating. Does rotate. Likewise, the tanks are going to be exposed. The Ling Bane rolling in. Bailey's just trying to connect here with the bio. Emphasis on trying. And the tanks are going to be cleaned up. Dorminhoco, he does hold. He shuts down the main army. Will pull away. Does pull back. Cleaned up all the ghosts. Cleaned up all the tanks. Strong fight here for Dorminhoco. And behind this, now we got the Lurker Den. Lurker Den's on the way. Hive is complete. Building up more Ling Bane Hydra. Still trying to build up. Still trying to build up. Still amassing. Likewise, Kamikaze's economy isn't left untouched, so far 80 workers. I mean, so does Dorminhoco. The bases are saturated. We're going to be jumping in. Oh! Collapsing on the Marauders. Bailing's trying to roll forward. Oh, not the best trades here with the Bailings, though. Yeah, really rough fight for Dorminhoco. He's got a lot of Bailings. From here, he has to retreat. The creep has been receding. A lot of the active tumors did go down. Just a couple of active tumors left over. Kamikaze trying to maintain map control. Once again, shaving off some Lings. What mine does burrow. Oh, Bailing's here on the Marauders. Again, just rough trades for Dorminhoco. Trying to dive on the army, alas, cannot. Gets forced back. It's going to be forced back. Lurkers are on the way. We have 12 lurkers in production. Nidus as well. Kamikaze moving out. Again, just trying to be active with draw play. Dorminhoco's maxed out, and this is where I have to be. I mean, we need to move out. We need to make use of this army as he is maxed. And does need to trade. Base goes down. Nice pickup. Takes down the expansion. Building up his army. Kamikaze, he is stabilizing. Down 20 supply, but he's catching up. And Dorminhoco, alas, he's stuck at home. He's building up more lurkers, getting to the Nidus Swarm, but not being too active here. Jesus. The engine every time. The exhaust even. Here comes the Nidus into the main. Overseer dips in. Going for the main base. Looks like the Nidus is spotted. But Kamikaze, he has no production. His production was not there. Nidus will complete. Lunkers, they bust in. They bust into the main base. Getting on top of the Ghost Academy. Ghost Academy is barely going to go down. But the Liberators have arrived. It's going to be a one-way trip. These Lurkers are going to fall. They have to get out of here. At the same time, Ling Bang rolling towards that planetary. Really awkward engage. Lurkers are trying to hold their own. Planetary goes down. He gets 3 CCs. There were 2 CCs building here, so 3 bases going down. Very nice damage. And Kamikaze, he's struggling. From here, Dorminhoco, he has to back up, has to retreat, and build back up. And he does. Instantly with more Lings, more Hydras. Now, what's a little bit concerning here is the Lurker count was reset. There's 0 Lurkers remaining, so it was a very expensive trade for Dorminhoco. No Lurkers left. But Kamikaze doesn't have the supply to push out. He's lacking the army. He's just lacking that army. Queen's trying to respread that creep. Trying to have some kind of map presence. And here comes the push. Dorminhoco's somewhat ready for it. As that's a lot of freedom, that's a lot of liberators. Jesus. Liberation has arrived, but alas, they're going to be going down. There's no support. And Libs are going down. Better engage here for Dorminhoco. Bleeds out mainly Ling Bane, which is expendable. Can rebuild. Can rebuild the army. Once again, another Nidus into the main. Do we have Lurkers? No Lurkers. Instead, just Lings. And Nidus is going to finish. Lings, they don't quite unload in time. Really just trying to distract. Lings, they catch a tank. Once again, Bailing's rolling in. No major connections. They take down the CC. Better fight for Kamikaze. He holds. He loses the command center, though. And this is where Dorminhoco would benefit so much from spellcasters, specifically Vipers, to Blinding Cloud, to Abduct. Speaking of, there we go. First Vipers on the way. First Vipers in production. Ultra Cavern now finishing up. Kamikaze is stabilizing. He's almost maxed out. Again, we had some very nice damage earlier, but alas, Kamikaze has weathered the storm. I just say lunge in, let's go. Catch, you gotta live. Pulling back. 4 Vipers on the way. And there's no good answer here to the Vipers. How many ghosts are there? 10. Oh, never mind. we have 10 ghosts. Oh, they're in the main. I was curious as to where they were. Not quite in position. Still respecting those libs. Ghosts, they respond. Take down more CCs. No detection. You're lunging away. More concerned with denying the CCs. Okay, bases are going down. I mean, this is expensive here for Kamikaze. But he's rolling up once again. And where are those Vipers? There's 5 Vipers gathering energy as we speak. They still need a little bit more time. Still no Lurkers. Now this is going to be shut down. A very fortunate drop here for Kamikaze. Shuts down the Nidus. May not be pushing through. I mean, this base is looking very exposed. It's not a really valuable base, but can find some damage here. Collapsing in the army. Forcing the lifts. Where are the Vipers, by the way? They're still at home. Bring the Vipers, Pappy. We need them. Oof, that's nice. They pop up. They shut down the Ultra. Dorminhoco rotating. Does get a CC. Takes on the Planetary. Not the best trades here with the Ling Bane, though. Yeah, some rough trades. At this point, with this high of a Ghost count, Ultras, they do nothing. Like, the Ultras are... They're not the answer. Not right now. Corruptors, they're okay if we didn't have so many Hydras. I wouldn't mind if we're getting this many Corruptors to morph in all these Hydras into Lurkers. Let's have Corruptor Lurker. As currently they both have the same role. Or a similar role. These Hydras are being shut down, and Kamikaze is just being so efficient with these Ghosts. Sniping Ultras, sniping Hydras. It does feel like Dorminhoco is having just a hard time coming up with his composition. I believe he has no Great Respire. Yeah, no Great Respire, so Broodlords are not a factor. Against this many Ghosts, Corruptor, Broodlord, Infestor is the ideal. But he's not quite there. Gonna be pushing in. We'll catch at least these Liberators. The Vipers pull away. The Liberators, they stack. Oh my god, so many of them stack. Nice snipes on the Corruptors. That was how many? That was 8 Liberators going down. Making 5 at a time. Jesus, so many libs. So Dorminhoco is down to 8 Corruptors. But he does preserve all the Vipers. So again, the Vipers, they have their role, and that is to power bomb, to shut down whatever's in the sky. Second Spire is on the way, so it looks like Dorminhoco is thinking about the Broodlords. Nice, this is cleaned up. Still looking for a way in. Looking for a way to get involved. Nidus into the natural, not bad. Is there anything in the Nidus though? Okay, some Lings. Some Lings. This can be dealt with. Dorminhoco rotating. Like, this is the kind of army that you want to engage in the center of the map, but clearly Kamikaze isn't. So we need to start working towards that Greater Spire. And towards Infestors. Yeah, snipes, they pop off. We get some blinding, sorry, some power bombs. Ugh. Again, it's an okay fight for Dorminhoco. Mainly bleeding at Corruptors. Does at least preserve his Vipers, I should say. Does preserve them. But he's being wasteful. He's still making more Lings. Like, again, it's all about efficiency at this point, and trying to break these locations with purely Ling Bane Corruptor, like, it's just so inefficient. And it's a good way to, like, burn through this bank. This is where you need your spell caches. There we go. Greater Spire is finally on the way, but we need the Viper upgrades. Sorry, the Infestor upgrades, Neural, and of course Massive Infestors as well. And the only way to deal with this army is to fungal. Is to lock this army down, to land a fungal. I mean, Neural isn't quite necessary, to be fair, but Infestors nonetheless. As we do see just pure Ghost Lib. Pure Ghost Liberator at this point. Oh, we do see the Ghost out of position. The center base should be going down. We get any power bombs? We get a couple. Power bombs, they pop up. Snipes on the Corruptors. Base goes down. Ooh, and I believe a couple of Vipers did fall here. Yeah, that was 3 Vipers going down. Expensive losses for Dorminhoco. Dorminhoco is running out of gas. Even though Dorminhoco has all these bases, he has not saturated the gas geysers. The gas geysers, they have been left alone, and that is hurting him. Now gases are being taken, but they're late. Likewise here, they haven't been saturated. Oh. So Dorminhoco, if he's not too careful, he's running out of money. He's running out of money, running out of resources. He has 4K minerals, but that doesn't mean anything. Not if he doesn't have any gas. So he needs these gas guys to sustain himself. Diving in. Getting a Liberator here and there. Oh, God, running through all of his banelings. And he's vulnerable to a counterattack. He's vulnerable. He needs to saturate soon. Greater Spire is done. We need those upgrades. And more importantly, we need the Infestors. Like Broodlords on their own, they didn't really do much here. Not against this high of a ghost count. Like, Broodlords are not by themselves the answer. And again, still no gases here. Still no gases here. Still no saturation, what I mean. You can see Dorminhoco is out of gas. He's completely out of gas. There we go. Now he just starts saturating. Now he notices. We have the first Infestor on the way. And it isn't enjoyable to play this way, but like you do have to play the game of efficiency. Like walling up with spores, with spine crawlers, getting up to like, what, 8 Infestors, splitting up into 2 groups, so building up your Broodlords. You have to play this game. And it does feel like it's taken too long for Dorminhoco to kind of like accept this fate. This center base is abusable, true. I would even say the Dorminhoco should not allow this base to get up and running. Corruptors are not in position. Yeah, and these libs, there's no answer to them. Lings, they collapse in. These are going to be some rough trades. Vipers are getting caught out. Brutal losses. Loses one. Loses another as well. Just a really rough split on the army. Go save, rotate towards the center. And again, this base getting up and running is huge for the Terran. Again, this should not have happened, but the base is up. And now Dorminhoco is falling a bit behind. Like, the win condition for the Zerg is deny the bases, right? Deny this base and deny the southern base as well. But he has been failing to do so. Snipes coming in. Oof. Yeah, Broodlords are going down. And Broodlords, they'll just melt. Brutal losses. Every Broodlord gonna fall. And this is why Broodlords on their own do nothing. you need those Infestors. They have to come hand in hand. Without one, the other, it crumbles. Without Fungals to threaten, and even then, it's not like, oh, you have Infestors, so you win that fight. Because obviously the Ghosts have EMPs, so you have to like stagger your Infestors. You have to be careful with how they come in. To threaten those fungal growths. And Kamikaze, he's taking a lead in this game. Now getting 2 bases, 2 fresh mining bases as well. This southern base and the center base. Dorminhoco, he has to engage. He's trying to dive in. We'll catch out the libs. Liberators go down. Gets a blinding cloud on the ghost, which don't do anything. EMPs connect. We land 1 fungal, but there's no follow-up. There's no follow-up. There's no Broodlords. And again, Dorminhoco, he's out of resources. I mean, I say he's burning through his bank, so he cannot remax. He hasn't taken his gases here either. Inefficient saturation towards the south. Because he's trying to rotate. trying to rotate. The liberation is real. I'm afraid to look how many lives. 13 lives, 23 ghosts. Oh, God. And unfortunately, again, Dorminhoco is being very stubborn when it comes to what army he's trying to make. Again, Lingbane Hydra has no real place here, to be honest. It's just very inefficient. Just a very inefficient army here to try to push into any of these siege locations. Kamikaze playing this out correctly, just turtling. Like, he has no reason to push out. He just has a turtle. Like, he's already successfully taken the bases that he needs. Bailey's rolling in. Oh, through the liberation zones, brutal trades. Oh, God. The Lingbane crumbles. Dorminhoco, he has to back off. It's supply blocked as well. Oh, God. Even supply blocked. And I can definitely sense the frustrations as well. He's like, I have all this money. What do I do? What can I do? Unfortunately, he's still stuck in this kind of mid-tier mindset of Lingbane. He gets a couple of liberators, which is nice. Will lose all his detectors even. Snipes, they pop up. They shut down the corruptors. And Kamikaze from here can now start pushing towards the bases. And again, we didn't have full saturation here, so there's still resources to mine, which means Kamikaze can take this base as well, and then take this base for himself. Now, he does have a couple of... he has 2 infestors. Technically, if he can land 1 juicy fungal, he can still catch out this army. It's not going to be easy, but he can pull it off. He can still pull this off. He just needs that fungal. Lingbane rolling in. Up, not bad. He does get on top of the ghost. Just connects somewhat. There was no fungal. Yeah, there was no fungal. Lingbane crumbles, and Kamikaze, he holds, he defends. Again, it takes, for those that are curious, it takes a lot of Banelings to kill a ghost. It takes a lot of Banelings. Ghosts are actually quite tanky. So the ghost survived. They did survive it. No. As yeah, Kamikaze takes down the base. Take another expansion as well. And Kamikaze again, he's still just stuck on Lingbane. And again, there was a chance previously, that definitely was a chance. And he's going to be able to clear up all these Liberators that are left exposed. True. Liberator's going to be going down. Once again, Lingbane rushes forward looking for the ghosts. They don't quite find them. He wants them. He wants those ghosts. Up. Settles on the planetary. Rolls in. We get a hot pickup. Couple of ghosts go down. But he does clear up so many Liberators there. How many was that? 9. 9 Liberators went down. He was able to catch 4 ghosts. Okay. Now, unfortunately, we're out of a bank. Like, unfortunately, we're long distance mining at this point. Still though, lunges in. Can he catch the ghosts? Now there's no SimCity. Now there's no planetary. Base goes down. Ideally, Dorminhoco wants to force Kamikaze out here into the open. And he can try to look down the ghosts. As they dive in. Oh, the snipes are brutal. I'm not sure there's enough Lingbane. Yeah, there's not enough. Not enough Lingbane. Ultras go down. The ghost survive. Does get the expansion. And what's scary right now is the soup is lying. The supply looks similar, but that's only because Kamikaze mainly has mules. And his army supply is huge. So he still has the larger army, the greater army here. Just has less supply in workers. Meanwhile, Dorminhoco, you can see here, oversaturated, has most of his supply in drones, not in army. And Dorminhoco, he should be aware that he cannot let this base get up and running. So he's forced to dive in time and time and time again. As is all the freedom. And now we get the it's a little bit too late for this, but now we get the infestors. I'm gonna say too late. We can still try to pull this off. Yo, the microbial shroud. Lingbane rolling in. The Ghosts, they kite back. They shut down the Lingbane. Yeah, the choke point is brutal. Ah, Dorminhoco. We're out of money. Morphing in lurkers. Bunkers are on the way. Has to pull out. Ah, we can't afford to lose this base. Not like this. Once again, planning throwing down the microbial shrouds. Trying to do whatever he can. But yeah, he cannot get close to those ghosts. It's not going to happen. GG gets called in Kamikaze. He will take game number 1. Whew. GG. GG, well played. Kamikaze will take lead in the series. Again, Dorminhoco, he did have, he was ahead. He was ahead initially. He did have advantages. Remember, he was knocking down base after base after base. But he did end up allowing Kamikaze to stabilize. I will say that. He was allowed to stabilize. He was allowed to get another base. There was a little bit of lack of urgency with Dorminhoco. And once the game stabilized, we saw that he just was unwilling to really build up. He was unwilling to really build up and to... Oh. Yeah, it was unwilling to build up and unwilling to go into Broodlord Infestor. That's kind of what you need in that kind of situation, especially against a ghost-heavy composition. We're good to go. We are good to go. But yeah, GG will play. Kamikaze does take a lead in the series, and Dorminhoco, he does take a loss initially here, but it's a best of 3. Best of 3, we can bounce back. Can try to bounce back. Here we go. And yeah, we saw the power of Mass Ghost. Ghost Lib, really. It's a it's a very powerful composition, and it does kind of force a certain kind of response, and without that certain kind of response, it's very difficult to pull off. We have seen some players stick with Lingbane Hydra and make that work, but you need to be very active and very aggressive, and you need to be so on top of just knocking down bases. Like that's the goal there. If you're stuck on Lingbane Hydra against that kind of composition, you have to rotate back and forth over and over again, with Nidostorms as well, and knock down bases, knock down fringe bases, and make sure that your opponent doesn't build up a bank. But it's a very stressful kind of play style, definitely, and it's very difficult to pull off. And yeah, with that, GG well played. Now we're getting ready for game number 2. Let's go. Getting ready for game 2, and we'll see how our players will adjust their approach. Meanwhile, do we have any updates? We do have updates here in the brackets. It looks like our players need some time to get their lobbies set up, so we might just dip on over to have a look at the bracket itself. Here we go. Looks like the entirety of the first round has concluded, and now the quarterfinals are in full swing. They're all underway. Again, we did begin in the quarterfinals, and I'm hoping to catch some Eric, so don't you worry. I'm going to be all over that as soon as possible. after the series is most likely drop down to catch the lower semifinals, assuming it all lines up. I'm hoping it does. I'm hoping it all lines up for us. And I would imagine we're going to be seeing Eric versus Inexorable in those lower semis. I would imagine. Here we go. As we are setting up. Likewise, we have Master versus Antonio, currently ongoing. We have our series, Kamikaze versus Sleepy. We have Eric versus Claw, and we have Inexorable versus Vitorino facing off as well. Let's go. It looks like we have our map. We have game number 2 ready for us. We're going to be loading into King's Cove. And again, Dorminhoco, he had such a strong start as well. He had such a strong start against his opponent. He was up in workers. He was up in bases. Like, he was up in supply. Remember, he had like a 40 supply lead. But again, did kind of let up on the gas. He did back off. It was a little bit too tentative afterwards. And Kamikaze, of course, did recover. But now we're jumping in. Now we're jumping into game 2. Whew. We have our lobby. Let's go. Let us go. Also, I'm excited because later on tonight, I can stream, papi, I can stream. I actually do have time to stream and actually ladder a little bit as well, so that's going to be what I'm looking forward to after this cast. At least I hope to. As we're jumping into game number 2. And spawning in the top left-hand corner of King's Cove, we have the Brazilian Terran player, the Red Terran representing Clan NWCE. It is Kamikaze. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the Brazilian Zerg player, the Blue Zerg representing Zimi's Gaming. It is Dorminhoco. Once again, opening up gas, a pool into hatchery. We saw that this leads into earlier link speed, into a link flood as well. This did work out quite well with previously when Kamikaze did open up 2x Reaper, and it looks like once again 2x Reaper out of Kamikaze. We're set up on the low ground. The first Rax is on the way, followed by the second Rax. We could throw out a third Rax in the main. It is possible to turn this into 3x Reaper, but especially on a large map like King's Cove, I'm not too fond of the idea of committing into hyper aggression from the side of the Terran. So just 2 Raxes for now. We'll see if he does throw down a third Rax. So this is a repeat of the last game. It's going to be a repeat of the last game here. So far settling in. Getting into our Reaper production. Likewise at Dorminhoco. Getting to link speed. And the goal here for Dorminhoco is to catch out these Reapers. Is to catch the Reapers with these speedlings. We'll see if he can. See if he can. As things are moving out. Natural base being taken. Likewise, Reavers are on the way. Kamikaze moving out. And we'll see if Dorminhoco can catch out those Reapers. So far, there's a CC. Again, no third Rax. Alas, Dorminhoco, not quite in position, but can even try to surround this. Does confirm. Late expansion. Kamikaze knows. He now knows that he's in danger. He now knows that Lings are on the map. Link speed 5 seconds away. Oh, not quite done though. So Dorminhoco does pull away. Again, link speed is done. It's on Dorminhoco to catch out these Reapers. And Kamikaze is going to get caught out. Yeah, nice catch. He gets 1. He gets 2. Two Reapers do fall. There's one Reaper left. From here, Dorminhoco, he can just either commit across the map, knock down these add-ons. For now, chasing down the Reaper, and he will get it. Reaper does fall, and now it's go time. Now behind this, no all-in, he's droning. Again, there are variations of this where you stay in gas, you throw down a Baneling Nest, and then you Bane Bust, which I think can be quite effective, but not here, not this game. Dorminhoco's droning. Is droning up. 6-hour ladder or riot. You're an animal. You're an animal. Only one Marine. Just the one Marine, so the add-on's going to go down. I would have preferred the Tech Lab, but does get the reactor regardless. It's still some damage, but does not get the Tech Lab in the end. Does not deny Stim. And Kamikaze holds. Kamikaze does hold. Behind this, Dorminhoco droning up. Now, last game we saw this led into, this is a sub 4-minute lair timing. It looks like the same build. It looks like lair into Baneling Nest into fast Baneling speed. Once again, this is just really fast tech, and if we don't make use of that tech early on, it does kind of hurt the Zerg player here. Show us that Baneling Nest as we have the gas. And soon to be the minerals. Links are kited back. Yep, there's that Baneling Nest. So this is the same build. The same build 2 games in a row for Dorminhoco. And again, against like a Hellbat push or against like a 2-base all-in, against like an aggressive build, then this can work quite well. But it's just a lot of tech really early on. And does hurt him in the long run. Behind this, we do have our 3rd CC on the way for Kamikaze. Getting into his 3rd, building up. Ooh, getting into a 3rd Rax here before the factory, so going to be a lot more aggressive here, actually. Basically, Kamikaze, he's delaying his starport in favor of more Marines, in favor of a greater army. Factory now done. There's a starport on the way. We can see Dorminhoco, he's building up more Lings, is delaying his droning. Still have a lot of droning to do. Unfortunately, Dorminhoco, I think he's playing a little bit blind here. He did not see the 3rd CC, so he doesn't know how greedy or how aggressive his opponent's being. So basically, most of these Lings could have been more drones to saturate the 3rd base first, but because he's playing blind, you can see he's getting ready here for an attack that isn't really coming yet. He's building up Ling Bane, and now he starts droning after the Ling Bane. So this is slowing him down. Oh, as now he scouts, now he confirms. Now he sees the 3rd CC, now he gets eyes on the armory, so he knows 2-2 is on the way. 3rd base now being taken. And Kamikaze will soon move out with his medevacs. Will soon move out. Dorminhoco, it's going to get him to keep up. Nice delay on the 3rd base with that Overlord. Not bad. We'll delay. Dorminhoco taking another expansion. And he's still at less than 3 base saturation. Like, the drone count is still very low for Dorminhoco. Here comes the drop. So far, keeping it with the drop play. See some people asking in the chat. Yes, his name is Dorminhoco. For those that are curious, in game he's acordado. It's a play on words. Basically, acordado means awake, and Dorminhoco means asleep or sleepy, and his ID is sleepy. So His in-game ID is the opposite of what his ID is. Intentionally. Oh, no! Oh. Does split. But yeah, it's like if I don't know, if it's like if Hero's in-game name was called Villain. Like it's just a play on words. Or just having fun with his in-game ID. But yeah, for those who don't know, Dorminhoco is the Brazilian word for, or I guess Portuguese word for sleepy. Sleepy is his ID. He needs to wake up. Ah. As for now, Kamikaze is going to be taking his fourth, building up. Welcome one and all to King's Cove. I didn't really get to talk about it, but King's Cove is one of the larger maps in the map pool. Kamikaze is, of course, going to be having an easier time turtling on this map, or I say building up towards a later game. The 4th and 5th bases are more exposed on this map, so if we did see this kind of get into a longer game stage here, then I would say that Dorminhoco would have an easier time pushing in towards these center locations if he were to gain map control there. For now, getting supply blocked. Building up his Ling Bane Hydra, joining up to 80. We have now gotten up to proper saturation. Both players have Lings. They go in for a run by, and the wall is wide open. Lings, they flood in. Lings into the mineral line. Lings on top of the fire, catching out the production. So far, so good. And Kamikaze does race back home. Very nice run by. Doesn't quite get into the main, but still damage nonetheless. And this is just buying time. It's buying time. Back at home, Hive is on the way. Again, we're up to 80 workers, getting another expansion, getting a 5th base. Creep is being spread quite nicely, as opposed to the previous game where we saw Kamikaze be very active with drops and deny creep. Here we have plenty of active tumors. The tumors, they're active. So far, spreading very nicely here for Dorminhoco. Spreading more creep, establishing himself. I can now focus on maxing out. Going for the Nidus Swarm. I would say a little bit early for the Nidus, but this also tells us that we should soon be seeing lurkers as well. Yo, I see Gustavo in the chat. Let's go. Este Gustavo. Good to see you, good to see you. Fala galera, pá. Fala galera. As Kamikaze is going for a split push. Triple drop towards right, double drop towards the left. We'll see if Dorminhoco can keep up. So far, up. Ooh, that's going to be canceled. We'll deny the expansion. Ooh, catching out some of the bio, not bad. Double drop sniping the Nidus, but no major economic damage. So losses that we can sustain. Dorminhoco so far is keeping up. So far. Drop does rotate. Hive is done. Going for the Ultra Cavern. I would love to see Vipers at this point as well to lock down these drops. And so now Dorminhoco having a hard time keeping up. Likewise, Kamikaze, he gets a queen. He gets one, he gets two. Catching out 2 queens. Back at home. Ghost production has begun. Liberators as well. So just like the previous game, we're building up towards mass Ghost Lib. That is the goal here. That is the win condition for Kamikaze, is to secure himself to turtle up with Ghost Lib. Once again, I will reiterate that this location here is very open, so he is going to be vulnerable here. There's no natural kind of SimCity. There's no natural choke point. So I do actually favor our Zerg player when it comes to engaging in this location to deny the bases and deny mining. But he has to make sure he engages soon before all these bases turn into planetaries. I mean, before Kamikaze fully turtles up. Both armies are maxed. The choke point is brutal though. Despite that, Lings, they do rush in, trying to engage. Oh, they get choked up. Yeah, just a really rough engage here for Dorminhoco. Again, he can engage here. It's wide open towards the top side, less so. It's a brutal choke point. It's exactly where Kamikaze wanted to fight. And Dorminhoco, he takes a rough engage. As here, we have a choke point, we have a wall off, we have all the Liberators set up as well. This is exactly where you don't want to push in. There we go. Dorminhoco now looking to engage here towards the south side. But I spoke earlier how he was on a bit of a timer here. Now liberations zones are set up. They're set up. Another base going to be falling, distracting Dorminhoco. Behind this, still no Vipers. He's stuck on Link Bane, Hydra. And now would be the time to take up. We have a bit of a bank, throwing down double Spire, building up Vipers, investing into Corruptor upgrades and into Broodlords. Now he's rotating in, trying to engage. He will knock down some of these CCs. Planetary did finish though. And Planetary did complete. Links, they rush into the mineral line, but there's not many SCVs. Yeah, it's going to be a rough fight here for Dorminhoco. Gonna lose everything. Has to lunge the hell out of here. Not the best trades. He bleeds out with his Link Bane. Didn't get any SCVs. He got one command center. And just a really chaotic fight from the Zerg. And he plummets 80 supply. Oof. Does fall heavily here in the supply. And I'm concerned we're getting a bit of a repeat here. Just similarly to the previous game, we're taking a little bit too long here to tech up. My apologies, there is double Spire. Okay, we have double Spire. We're working on the upgrades. I'll still prefer Liberators as well to help deal with, all this anti-air. Sorry, Vipers is what I meant to say. Deal with all the anti-air. Deal with all the libs. I'm not too fond of the idea of Ultras in this position at the moment, just because, they're just... Everything here is anti-Ultra. The Liberators and the Ghosts. They want to fight against Ultras. And you can see here that Kamikaze, he has achieved his goal of taking this base and fully choking this up. We have so many planetaries and CCs and liberation zones. There was a window where we could abuse this location, and we can still abuse this area here. He's diving in. Not many Hydras. Takes down some of those Liberators. Link Bane rolling forward. No major connections. From here, he has to back off. Here we go. Corruptors out on the way. Corruptor production has begun. I would say right now there's a lot of pressure, a lot of onus on Dorminhoco to expand and take every base. Like, not even just burrow here, but like it's too late now. He doesn't have a bank. He has no minerals. But before this, to take every single base on the map and to prioritize mining on these fringe locations as well. Like on these maps like King's Cove and Abyssal and Neon Violet Square, you need to be proactive when it comes to getting ready for this game state. And recognizing when you're here. Because the reality is that Kamikaze is not going to die anytime soon. Like, look at this. Like, you're not going to break this anytime soon, so you have to, like, be accepting of that and take every base and saturate every mineral line you can. Like, these fringe mineral lines, build up your infestor counts, throw down, spore lines, spine lines as well, your static defense, spread creep, and focus your attention on denying these bases, the fresh mining base, instead of pushing into this. Oh, no. As, yeah, he's going to run into the planetaries, and this is not going to be the best trade here for Dorminhoco. Oh, God. He will get one planetary for his entire army. He gets 2 bases, 2 planetaries, 2 CCs. That was for, like, 80 supply. He's remaxing on 100 lings. Oh, no. You see Dorminhoco once again trying to push it, but it's too late at this point. Yeah, the Sim City is there. It's one of those things where once you reach up to this kind of game state, then it's like, okay, now we have to focus on denying this northern base and this left-hand base instead. Like, pushing into these planetaries, you're not going to be successful here. It's just denying what comes next and building up your own bank and taking a bit of a slower style. See, you know what I'm watching right now? This is like a precursor, as Bailey's like, This is a precursor of my ladder session. I can feel it already. I can. It's like, oh, we heard that you wanted to stream today. This is gonna be your day. It's like, oh no. I can see myself in like a 45 or hour-long game on Neon Violet Square on Abyssal. Oh no. This is gonna be me in a couple of hours. Ah, no. Not again. Not again. Well, now it's into the main. Okay, let's go. This is a way to bypass all this SimCity. Does Kamikaze notice? And what is in the Nidus Worm? That's a good question. Just links. Links and Nidus, I mean, can still do damage. As they do flood out. They'll be able to get some damage at least. Bangs, they get a planetary. Can be some of the production. Going for the caustic spray, getting another CC. Not bad. Okay, 2 bases. Links to the main, they didn't really get much done though. But he will catch out these Liberators. I mean, again, the Ghost Rider position. Not bad. Takes down a couple of Liberators, going for the center tower as well. Ooh, a bit of a messy engage, but does pull away. Dorminhoco pulling back. He's got decent saturation. It's okay. And this is what we spoke about earlier, how really like the main contested area should be this base here. This base here needs to be contested. We can't allow Kamikaze to take this expansion. The pressure is on Dorminhoco to deny this. He has to respond. For now, pushing through the center. We'll take down the center expansion. Not bad. But we need to stop these CCs. So now he backs off. 50 more links on the way. Oh, scema, papi, scema. So now we're working towards that greater spire. And I'm feeling it is looking a little bit bleak here because this space that we spoke about, this location, it's getting up. It's building up. Dorminhoco, he was unable to deny it. He was able to kill the center expansion, but I mean, it doesn't really matter as much as the northern base. Kamikaze gaining more ground. We'll once again knock down the center location, but I had still a big investment. Banelings, they get completely cleaned up. Holding main falls, Nidus into the main, Nidus into the natural. Lings, they're getting some damage done. Let's go. Catching out some SCVs. I mean, so far, Kamikaze's had a really hard time at least catching these Nidus worms. But the damage here is negligible. But the army's out of position. Oh, he never scouted. Oh, that's why. I was curious why he wasn't denying these bases. He's only now noticing. He didn't know. I mean, that explains it. He just now confirms. Ay, ay, ay. My apologies. I assumed that the borrowed Ling would have had vision. So just now realized what's been going on. Trying to flood in. Boys are being pulled. And once he realizes Dorminhoco, he knows he has to stop this, but is it too late? Oh. His caustic spray is denied. Building up his army. And he has to dive. Now, this time, there are ghosts in position to defend. This time, the Night Storm isn't distracting as heavily. Greater Spire is done. No Broodlords yet. He does borrow some links. Okay, he's pushing into 2 planetaries. Oh my god. Planetaries they go down. There's 3, there's 4 planetaries. Oh my god. He takes down 3. And he gets the mineral line. Sorry, I thought those were planetaries. So he gets 3 planetaries, gets the mineral line, but the orbital survives. And so do the ghosts. Dorminhoco trying to rebuild. After resetting those that Liberator counts, I do feel like now would be the time for Infestors to catch out the ghosts. It's on the way. Lings are trying to file in. Hopefully he notices what just happened. As most of Dorminhoco's army is here, burrowed. There we go, we're good, we're good. Okay, now we have a planetary here. Planetary is a base. We just mass Mulehammer as well. Ay, ay, ay. Matchup's going up. And they go CranKy well. CranKy back. They shut down the Lings. Not enough here. Dorminhoco trying to remax. The Banes, they get spotted. Oh, he wants the Corruptors. One of mines are set. Oh no. We've seen this before. One of mines are getting ready here for their mine shots. The greatest sieging up. Dorminhoco commits the mine shots. Ooh, massive connection. First shot goes up. Second as well. Bane's trying to make their way towards those ghosts. Ooh, brutal mine shots. And a couple of ghosts are going to be going down. Not bad. Getting what? 5 ghosts? 7. 7 ghosts going down, but Dorminhoco, he just burned through his entire bank. And he did not get the expansion. That was not as worth it here for the Zerg. Dorminhoco, he does need these gases. He needs saturation. Dive in. Oh, he gets punished so hard. Oh my god, the snipes. The mass ghost. Snipes down the Corruptors. And Kamikaze, he should be able to deny this expansion. And as we mentioned before, like, what's scary about these bases going down is that Kamikaze is going to take them himself. Not many Corruptors left over. A much stronger fight for Kamikaze. And this base is soon to belong to the Terran. And alas, Dorminhoco did not mine enough. Still plenty of resources here. The gases, they were untouched as well. Fresh gases. He scans, sees another potential Terran base. Might be his next opportunity. Oof. Ultra's being shut down. Kamikaze still settling in. taking another expansion. From here, he can take another base on the right. He can try to take the base on the left. This center location is still very wide open. Lings, they are able to catch some of these orbitals. Not bad. Center orbital does fall. Getting another. Pulling back. Do we have any investors? We have one. We have one investor. There's still a chance. I want to believe. There is still one chance. Yo. Can we pull this off? Oh, no! Not like this. Vulture goes down. You can see the infest. Oh, yeah, he notices. Does notice the infestor. We'll shut it down. Here comes the dive. And the ghosts, they get the hell out of there. They pick up, they load up, they pull out. Nice cleanup on the Liberators. Again, specifically this area can be attacked from multiple angles. So much stronger engage here from Dorminhoco. Much stronger engage. Mine shots going off though. Kamikaze pulls back. I would have assumed he would have already taken this base, but has yet to do so. Now floating over. Dorminhoco, can he pull this off? If he can force more fights here, then he can. Dorminhoco, he can whittle away at this army. It's not pretty. It's not easy, but he can do it. I mean, thankfully, because of these mining bases, like, he has a greater economy. Rotates towards the right-hand side. Kamikaze out of position. Base is going to go down. He denies the expansion. And now suddenly it's Kamikaze who's running out of resources. He still has a more efficient army, don't get me wrong. But I would have assumed that this base was going to be a given here. But he isn't mining. Dorminhoco, we can still pull this off, Bat. We can do this. Oh, we do have more planetaries on the way, though. It's going to be that much more difficult to break this center location. Just going right down mid, he just commits. He does dive in. Bailey's on the way. Ghost force the kite back. The line shots. Ooh, massive connections. And the ghost, they will survive, losing one ghost. Aye, aye, aye. And with that, Kamikaze takes a better fight. 96 more lings on the way. That was 71 lings. That was, of course, all the banelings for 2 ghosts. And the Liberators, of course. Good chunk of Liberators. That Woodman has 10 Baneling kills on it. Does notice all the changelings. I'm re-rolling in. Like, personally, I'm still not fond of this style of Dorminhoco, but he can brute force it. He can make it work. Especially because, again, there's still no expansion for Kamikaze. He's being starved out. He needs a base. Dorminhoco does dive in. Mine shots are brutal. There's still one mine left. Oh my god. Mines, they do connect. Despite that, still a little Ling Bane left over. And the ghost, can he get them? Can he? Barely not. No, he will not catch the ghost. They all survive. I think one ghost goes down. Bane's, they crash into the mineral line. Kamikaze with a much more efficient fight. I'm afraid to look. How many ghosts was that? 3? Yeah, 3 ghosts. 3 ghosts. For so much Ling Bane. Dorminhoco remaxing 100 more lings. Did reset the Liberator count though. And again, this is working. It's working, Pappy. He's getting there. Now, because the Liberator count is non-existent, this means that the Corruptors in the next fight, they're not going to be healing libs, they're going to be hunting down the Medivacs. And once the Medivacs go down, there's no escape. There's no escape for the Ghost. Dorminhoco, he's pulling it off. He's doing it. The stamina. Fighting this out for 35 minutes. Let's go. And yeah, there's 0 Liberators left. So Kamikaze, he's in the right position here. He has to rely on these Widow Mines. Like, the Widow Mines, they need to connect. Likewise, there's what? There's an orbital, there's no planetary. And here we go, Dorminhoco, he commits! Ooh, mine shots are brutal, but Bailey's they survive. And the Corruptors are going for the dive as well, catching up the Medivacs, full Medivac goes down! Again, that's what Dorminhoco was looking for. Got a full Medivac he goes. Takes down a CC, and he's done it. He has done it. GG gets called, and Dorminhoco, he will tie up the series 1-1. Oh my god. GG. GG, well played. Oh my god, it wasn't pretty, it wasn't easy, it wasn't efficient, but he got there. He got there, Pappy. GG. Oh my god. As we're getting into the ace match. Whew. Oh my god. We're getting into the ace match, Pappy. Ay, ay, ay. And we'll see how the story ends. We're locked in. We're locked in. And because these matches have been so fast, I'm sorry, so fast, Kappa, so long, and because the lower matches were so fast, I believe Eric versus Inexorable has already begun, which is a bit of a shame. I did want to catch some Eric, but you know, the series, the matches are still, of course, going to be ongoing. I don't think we really expected this match to be a 2-hour-long series. Again, both games have been more than 30 minutes. Both games, so far, this series has lasted over an hour, over 1 hour. So we're not going to ask the players to wait for another 30 minutes, because this might be another long one. Might be another long one here. Let's go. So we're getting to the ace match, and we'll see how this story ends as we're loading into Ultra Love. Ooh, okay, so a couple of things here. On the one hand, if you remember, we kept talking about the map, about King's Cove, and about that center location, how open it was. And honestly, Dorminhoco was able to make good use of that. We saw some very, very good fights in the center of the map, able to shut down the 4th base and the center 5th or 6th expansion as well. Those were the main locations where Dorminhoco was able to outtrade his opponent, Kamikaze. Like, that was it. In the other areas, less so. Like, he had some really rough fights trying to push into these other choke points and push into the siege lines, but the center area of the map was very open, and did allow multiple angles of attack and better fights for the Zerg. And honestly, that really carried him. That really did allow him to recover in that game and to bounce back despite being in a really rough position. But now we're loading into Ultra Love, and this map doesn't have bases like that. The reality is that here on Ultra Love, it is known for turtling, it's known for macro. There are some very defendable locations at the 3rd, at the 4th, at the 5th, at the 6th base as well. There's less attack paths, there's more choke points, and it is easier to cut the map in half on Ultra Love, more so than King's Cove. So as much as I want to give credit to Dorminhoco for pulling that off and for getting some better engagements, that is all true, but the map did kind of allow for that to happen. Here in Ultralove, it is much more difficult to actually have that kind of game state and to have those big engagements, the big surrounds, and coming in from multiple angles. So this is where I'm more concerned. I'm more concerned for Dorminhoco, especially if he commits to this style of mass Ling Bane. As you mentioned before, when it comes to this more Ling Bane heavy composition, instead of taking into Broodlord Infestor, you need to be active, you need to be knocking down base after base after base. If you don't, then game one happens. Remember game one. Game one, we just saw so many dives and so many committed attacks from the Zerg, and it didn't really come to fruition. Wasn't able to bring down any of the bases, and he was overwhelmed over time, or I should say the Terran player was just too efficient over time, and to just outtrade his opponent. And I'm concerned that we're going to be seeing a repeat of ley lines here on Ultralove, as Ultralove is ley lines to the extreme. I would say that the pressure right now would be on Dorminhoco to try to get a lead early on and try to break the Terran before we get up to, you know, that turtle style. We'll see though. We'll see. So here we go. So we're getting into the ace match. Whew. Getting into the late game here. And again, I feel like the pressure is more so on Dorminhoco than on Kamikaze, but we'll see. We'll see. So loading in. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Ultralove, we have the Brazilian Terran player, the Red Terran representing clan NWCE. It is Kamikaze. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have the Brazilian Zerg player, the Blue Zerg representing Eximius Gaming. It is Dorminhoco. Whew. Let's go as we are opening up once again gas pool into hatchery. It's been the same build every game so far here by Dorminhoco, and once again Kamikaze also opening up 2-Act Reapers. So when it comes to the openers, I do favor Dorminhoco. I do think that this is a good response here and a good way to shut down the build of Kamikaze. I do think that there is opportunities to go for a Bane Bust follow-up, but again, that's just not what we've been seeing. We've been seeing macro out of the Zerg player instead. As we have 2-Act Reaper from our Terran and Fastling Speed from our Zerg. And with that Fastling Speed, his goal here is to hunt down those Reapers, to shut them down, and to gain map control, and to settle into a longer game state. Now, after the Reapers get shut down, there's potential to maybe catch the add-ons. Because of the spawn location, Kamikaze's stim is going to be exposed, or at least a little bit more so than usual, so there's potential for the Lynx to maybe catch the add-ons as well after they clean up the Reapers, but it also depends on how well they clean up the Reapers and how fast they can clean them up as well. Assuming they even do. Here we go. But now the Overlord does move out, and the Overlord will confirm the 2 racks. Will confirm the setup. Lings are amassing as we speak. And you can see him in position here at the Reaper Cliff. He's ready, he's in position. Reaper moves out. Does move out. Does threaten the expansion. You can see, ideally, Dorminhoco wants to wait for Link Speed. Wants to wait for Link Speed to finish. Reaper confirms how late the expansion is. Link Speed is now done. And Dorminhoco, he's Link Flooding. He is going for the Link Flood. Droning up behind this, so he's not going all in. But still invested quite heavily here, and he's looking for the Reaper. The Reaper does race back home. And we actually have a 4th and 5th Reaper popping in as well. And Kamikaze, he does play more defensively. Which means these Lings, they won't be able to achieve much here. Their goal was to catch out the Reapers out in the open. They're not going to be able to. Add-ons being thrown down. 3rd CC on the way. The Dorminhoco diving on those Reapers, but Lassie won't be able to get them. He's trying to though. Up! Gets his rank, gets one! Gets one, gets two. Not bad. Takes down 2 Reapers. Doesn't quite get the rest. Dorminhoco pulls away and drones. Okay, we are going to be droning up. Likewise, Kamikaze being just focusing on his economy, getting a 3rd CC into Stim, into add-ons, into his bio. We're building up. Now, just like the previous game, just like the previous 2 games, like the entire series, Kamikaze's goal is to just turtle. I imagine that's going to be the win condition for him. Sure, he's working towards like a Stim timing. Lings, they do slip in, but I don't think they can get much done here. Yeah, they're going to be cleaned up. They don't get any SCVs. But yeah, sure, he's going for like a Stim timing. He's going to be active with bio, but for the most part, he's not really going to be dedicating to a push. We didn't see that previously. Double eBay, double upgrades. Once again, Dorminhoco going for the fast lair into fast bailing nest, into faster bailing speed. Once again, this is a more inefficient way to play this out, but again, just really safe. It does feel like watching the series that Dorminhoco's been conditioned to a certain playstyle of Kamikaze, and we have seen Kamikaze play all-ins before and go for these Hellbat pushes. So Dorminhoco is kind of like blindly setting up for that. As Yorlers are being forced back. Starpro going for the add-on assault for that medevac production. Dorminhoco getting supply blocked. Oof. Yeah, big supply block here for Dorminhoco. And this Viking is a nice adaptation here. If you recall, previously on King's Cove, the 3rd base was delayed by the Overlords, not this time, as that is 2 Overlords going down. And Dorminhoco is building up. You see him knocking down these rocks, or these towers. Another Lynx! Oof, as one Link gets caught. Again, units will die if they're underneath that tower. So you gotta be careful. So yeah, the towers are being knocked down. SimCity on the way. Where we know where Kamikaze wants to take this. We've been there before, Patty. We've been there before. No. He's moving out. Morphs in those Hellbats. Banelings are somewhat ready for this, but not that many Banelings. Yeah, he's not ready. The Queen's being forced back. Only 5 Banelings. Alas, Kamikaze catching Dorminhoco off guard. He thought he was safe with the army that he had, and the game may just end here and now. Before we can turtle up, before we can get into a 4th base, here comes the army. Yeah, 1-1 is done, and Dorminhoco, he has been broken. We're going to be safe from another 40-minute game, at least. We're gonna but alas, there's just nothing to defend. There's 12 Banelings on the way. Unfortunately, Dorminhoco, he missed the move out. He didn't see the army coming. I mean, the Viking did help with that, true. Viking did assist. Oh no, nah, the misclick. Oh no. Baneling, they crash into the lair. Smooch. Yeah. GG, well played. And Kamikaze will take the series at 2-1. GG. Whew. Oh my god. GG, well played. Kamikaze will claim the series. Just an unfortunate moment there for Dorminhoco. Again, he didn't see the move out. I'm pretty sure a part of that is because of the lack of overlords. It's because they're being hunted down by the Vikings, so he just didn't see the army moving out. He didn't see it pushing. Alas, he was caught with his pants down. He did have some Lingbane ready, but not enough. Not enough to deal with that hefty of an army here. GG. GG, well played. Whew. Kamikaze does claim the series, does advance on, and we have some catching up to do. We have a lot of catching up to do here in the brackets. As exclamation mark B in the chat if you guys want to have a look back yourselves.